Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Raider Will, and I am here with my misfit crew. I got my boy representing the great Northwest. Oh boy, Tony Bova.
What's happening, y'all?
Then we got our girl representing the Big TX and Dallas Fort Worth for life, baby. Raider Nation for life. Our girl, Lady Val.
Come on, Maddie B.
And by the way, congratulations on becoming a fighter, sis.
I am not a firefighter.
Or a volunteer firefighter.
I am not a
Yeah,
volunteer firefighter.
that's
Yeah,
more
we
than
saw
I
pics.
am.
That's more than
I am not a volunteer. Listen, I cannot do what they do. I'll tell you that much.
All right, all
Yeah,
right,
you
all
can.
right.
You were doing it. You got pictures to prove it.
Yeah, we saw the pics. We saw the pics. But she's just
Yeah,
being
I've seen
shy.
the video. You holding the fire hose and holding it by yourself and shooting that fire out.
Whatever.
And we got our boy representing TBH Westco, RVP, Matty B.
What up, fam?
Yo, and I'm your host, Raider Well, and I am the president of TBH Westco and the leader on this crew. Yo, guys, we just got done with the draft. We all know that we had our brother James on here screaming, telling us about Shador in the first. And man, did that slip so far. We saw Shador get picked in the fifth by Cleveland, and we saw our draft come alive. First of all, yo, let's look at it. Tony B, I want you to hit me with some knowledge. I want you to hit me with what your thoughts are on this draft, and then we're going to break it down pick by pick.
Well, my one thing is they addressed a lot of needs in this draft, so that was very good. But the one need that they did not address, that they did address, kind of in a way, is they are trying to rebuild, and get a system in place. So the last thing you need is more of a headache to deal with outside distractions when you're trying to get a team set up in place. So you get Sanders, and he's a good quarterback. He is. It's not that he's bad, but what kind of baggage comes with that pick? And if you're trying to reestablish something with a new GM and a new coach and a new quarterback that you just brought in, do you really want to bring in a deterrent in the locker room when you're trying to build up something from the scratch, and it just won't work? It won't work. So that's why that pick was one of the needed.
Hey, Tony, you kind of broke up there at the end.
Good and they're the first player or in the finish. It's just not. We got that being back. What we needed, and we don't have to worry about the headache. And am I still there?
Yeah. Yo, Matty B, thoughts on the
Man,
draft, my brother?
I think this draft was, like I think it's probably one of the best drafts we've had in a while. Last year's draft was pretty decent in my opinion. This draft was, I think, a little bit better. We filled positions of need. We addressed almost everything that we needed. We didn't. I don't know about the Shador Sanders thing. Like 32 teams passed on him in the first round, but I don't think he should have got drafted in the fifth. I think he should have went in like the second, something like that. I'm pretty sure I said that he might even slip out of the first round a couple times on this pod. So, um, I kind of agree with Tony when it comes down to, like we're trying to build this team as a unit, and I think that's kind of the reason why we passed up on him in the first round was I think we got Geno Smith there, and I think they like it. And we went ahead and addressed the biggest need and the biggest issue, and that was running back in the first round. And I think we got good value out of that. And I think this kid's ready to ball out too, man. So I'm excited to see what we get.
All right. Big sis, what are we talking about here? Like, what do we got, sis? What are you thinking? What do you think about this draft?
First of all, it's little sis to y'all.
Hey, I'm trying to feel younger.
You know, half the guys I don't know. Today I've kind of been trying, like today was so busy, but trying to look at like watching highlights of them playing in games and past games. And so I'm really actually excited for the half that I did watch and kind of get a replay on. I'm pretty stoked about who we drafted. I mean, we don't know, obviously, their plans or their logic behind who they decided to draft, but I'm trusting the process because it seems like they really got something going on here. It's gonna be a good season. I'm stoked.
I don't know what sis is painting, but you know she's getting all like therapeutic over there. You know she's feeling good about the draft. She's feeling good about what's going on with the team. I'm telling you like this, baby. Hey, Spy Tech and Pete Carroll are giving this team some type of swagger. They are giving this team a total
So ready.
from the top. And I'm telling you, this rehaul is from the ground up. Look at the way that we drafted. None of these guys, people were like, oh, yeah, we're going to get this guy right there or a big star name. They're all hard workers. They're all gritty guys. They all represent what exactly Spy Tech and Pete Carroll are looking for in a Raider. Guys, we need to jam the ball down people's throats with an athletic guy that can do a little bit of everything. Let's be real. Genty hits all those points. He is an absolute beast. Number one running back. What did we lack last year? The ability to run the damn
ball.
football. So, like Tony B said, we come and address that weakness. Everybody keeps saying, hey, we need a number one receiver. We need a guy. We need this guy. I mean, like Terry-on McMillan was a guy that was highly named for the Raiders, and it was linked with them in the first round. What do we do in the second round? We go and get Bach out of TCU, a guy that doesn't drop the football, fills another need. I mean, like, it's a great draft, but I'm going to tell you, I had a couple head scratchers later on in the draft that I said the same thing that Matty B was saying. I get it. I know that we are not going to be like, hey, Shedeur Sanders. But when I saw Shedeur Sanders in the fourth round, in the late, or later on into the early fifth, why didn't we take a shot, guys? Why didn't we just say, hey, you know what? This could be a possibility. Again, a fourth round draft pick doesn't constitute a starter. It constitutes a guy that's going to come in and earn his spot. And I agree with Matt. He got blackballed. I mean, like, hey, the NFL said, hey, we're not going to deal with this. I have questions of why the Mannings were able to do it. But again, hey, I'm not in that role. But it is what it is. Go ahead, Matt.
Like at first I was like, it's because he had attitude and the way he carried himself, things like that. But man, like watching things as it starts coming out, it's like you almost look at it as he got blackballed, like it's kind of fucked up, if you think about it. Like Because think about it, man. Who did the Saints pick up? Who the fuck is that guy? Is it Scoush?
That's all I have to say.
What the
is you said,
fuck, dude?
who is this guy and what is his
Yeah.
name?
Why the fuck did they pick that guy, man? The fucking Browns. What's up with that, man? You go and pick Dylan Gabriel and then you go pick Sanders? Like, okay, yeah, there's some.
Don't be hating on my mans.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, Shador was rated higher than Gabriel was, and that was kind of a head scratcher for me for the Browns when they did that. I was like, that don't make no fucking sense to me that they did that. But I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that, but yeah. That don't make no sense to me when they do that. So I don't know.
No, absolutely. And that's where I had questions. So for me, guys, I'm going to tell you guys like this. I'm going to give it a grade. I'm going to go we are at a strong B minus in my opinion. And I've said this, with the high possibility of moving up.
That was crazy.
or down.
One of them was the waste.
What's that? Tony.
What'd you say, Tony? I think you froze.
Yeah, I think Tony froze on us. All right, we're gonna wait. We'll get back. Tony, are you back?
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
All right. Well,
That was Val.
he dropped off the call. So, hey, guys, like we said, it's kind of crazy. It's wild to see that he dropped that far down, that things happened, that, there he is. Tony's back. But I'm going to ask you, I said B minus with a strong possibility to move up to A. Okay. Tony, what's your letter grade for the team?
Sorry, what was that last part?
What's your letter grade for the team for the draft?
I'd say solid B. And the only reason why I wouldn't go higher is because even though they filled positions of need a couple of times, there was those couple you went, okay. And so it kind of made you weren't just like, getting someone around.
All right, guys, we're having troubles with Tony's link. If he just dropped off the call again, I think his internet's having issues. But hey,
Yeah.
Matty B, letter grade?
Man, I'm kind of with you on that one. I don't want to make it sound like I'm like a broken record repeating everything you're saying, but that's basically where I have too, is about a B minus, with room to improve. I like the fact that we addressed the running back situation in the first on the pick. I like that. That was the best running back available. If we would have let him go, he would have been gone within the next couple picks anyways. So I don't feel like we reached on him. I think great pick, great position, great value right there. I like the Beck the Beck pickup in the second round. Deontay Thornton is another one that I really like when it comes to the receivers.
We're gonna break it down round by round. We're gonna break it down round by round. You already
right now?
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm just telling you, I like that guy. Like I think addressing the wide receiver issue in that second round right there, and that third round, really kind of helped us out a lot, man. Like I think we're gonna see a lot of improvement in our wide receiver room. That's what I was getting at. I wasn't trying to break it down round by round, but I was just saying I think those two, along with Dash and Genty, I think are gonna have a big impact on our team this year. So,
all right, little sis. Grade.
I think it was an A.
Woo! She said A. What did you like so much about the draft?
Amazing. Honestly, I feel like so watching the game, of course, or watching the draft, of course, I'm like, who? You know, some people I've never heard of. Some people you're like, I feel like they kind of looked at the underdogs a little bit, and sometimes that's who you gotta look at. You know, because
I agree.
people pass over them so quickly because it's not a big name, but it's like, bruh.
No,
I know.
absolutely.
I liked how different it was, and um, like I said, I trust what they're doing. I'm excited, but I like it was like it like mysterious, you know. And then you go and you're looking at the highlights for these players, and you're like, oh, like we should have been looking at these people. Okay, now it makes sense, like what they're trying to do or trying to see, like if this will work out, you know.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you. So we all said, hey, we gave like nobody even gave them a C. Everybody gave them a B or above. Guys, we're gonna break it down round by round. Let's get this show on the road here. We are gonna go. Here I got some images. Let me make sure here. Oh, hold on, guys. Here we go. Share. Can you guys see the screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. So, as you guys see here, hey, in round number one, Raiders select out of Boise State, Ashton Genty. Boba, what's your grade on our first round draft pick?
A+. That boy's a
Enough
dog.
said. Enough said. He says A plus.
Straight dog,
Yo,
bro.
Matty B, first round draft pick. Great.
I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B plus on that.
Oh, B plus. Why do you feel it was a
Yep.
B plus?
I feel it's a B plus because I mean, he is a little smaller running back. I want to see what he does. I think he's a good running back. He's gonna be our day one starter, but the little 5'8.5" is a little bit worrisome for me on that end. But we'll see how it turns out, man. He's a little slippery, so I give it a B plus. We'll see how he turns out. It can get improvement too.
Okay. Little sis.
Hey,
Ashton Jensen. Hey, she's
you already
there's
know how
no
happy I
hesitation.
was. Yep, you already know how happy I was to get him. So, hey,
All right. Hey, in round number two, guys, we go to Jack Besh. Jack Besh out of TCU.
yeah.
Boba. Grade.
I'd say A-, and this is why.
Okay.
We got a great player that don't drop the ball, but we got a better person. We got the character. We got the character. We got a good person. We got quality. Everybody's like, oh, well, he's this or that, or he's exactly what we need. He is a go-getter, ready to play, passionate, brings heart, and brings those hands. So I'm ready. I'd say A-.
Little sis. Jack Besh. TCU.
He's
Grade.
like best friends with me now, just saying. He liked my
Damn it.
comment on Instagram.
So
You
that means
know.
it's an A plus plus.
We're best friends, okay? You
All
got that,
right.
Mr.
We
B?
got that. Yes, we are. Jack Besh. Lady Val is now best friends with you, and she will cheer you on no matter what.
His
We know this
girlfriend
for a
is
fact.
so pretty.
His girlfriend is very pretty now. You also know that. Maddie B.
Anyways,
Oh, go ahead.
I should say it anyways.
Okay. Jack Besh. Grade.
Man, Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna give it a B. Like I said, man, like I think overall he's a good quarterback. I think he's got something to prove, and he's he's the one that lost his brother right before the Senior Bowl. So, that last play at the Senior Bowl that he caught that winning touchdown, and I just feel this kid's got a lot of heart.
That was a good.
I think this kid's got a lot of heart and a lot of grit, and I think this kid's gonna come out balling.
Agreed. All right, Jack Best for me, guys. I didn't expect this in the second round. I'll be honest. I was thinking, hey, offensive line. If we didn't go quarterback in the first, I thought quarterback in the second. I'm going to give this one a B. Kid's a stud. Absolute baller. Doesn't have the top end speed, but is a quality receiver. If this guy comes in and starts and is a day one impact, I'm looking at him being a Keenan Allen type. Not a guy that's going to take the top off, but a guy that's going to make everything into a catchable ball, and a possession guy, and a guy that won't drop an open pass. So I'm going to go with a B. I love the story. The story for me is an A fucking plus. But I'm looking at it, and again, he played at TCU, and it's looking like we picked a lot of guys that played in smaller divisions. Not guys from the SEC or big name guys. But again, we'll see. Now, in round 3, we go corner. We draft Darion Porter out of Iowa State. Bova, great.
He's not here.
Oh. Matty B, great.
I'm gonna give this grade a C. I don't think it was a reach. I think we picked him right where he should have been picked. I think he's got a lot of potential and a lot of up. I definitely think I'd rather take him over Will Johnson, in my opinion. I think he's probably going to have a better career, honestly. I don't know about the Will Johnson pick, but I like the Darian Porter pick right here. So I'm going to give it a C.
Sis?
I don't know much about him, but we'll go with B, because there's a reason why they picked these guys. Come on.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to be absolutely real with you. I had to do my research on this guy. I said, who is this guy? Hey, I don't know what it is, but this guy plays with a chip on his shoulder. This guy plays with intensity. And you know what? This guy is a Pete Carroll DB written all over him. Like he's that type. He's a physical guy. And we're looking at it and saying, I think he found his Rick Sherman.
Yeah.
And this might be Richard Sherman. So to watch out. I'll be like, that's my thoughts on this guy. But I'll be like, so I'm going to go with this guy for B. He's going to be a C+. He has a ton of potential, ton of upside, but again, needs to be refined, needs to be worked with, and needs a DB coach that can get the best out of him. Now let's go to the next round, guys, or the next pick. Caleb Rogers, Texas Tech. Matty B, you called me and you told me, man, I'm really happy about the guys that we got on the offensive line, their versatility and their ability to play different positions. Yo, Caleb Rogers, what's your grade?
Live from the Internet's red
Hold on.
It's Verbo's 2025 vacation rental.
I don't know why that went off.
Vacation rentals. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, dude.
Hey, Batty B's already in vacation mode.
I
Yeah, yeah.
know.
Getting games. um, say that one more time. I'm sorry, Will. I had a speaker blow up in my face.
I said Caleb Rogers, Texas Tech.
Caleb Rogers, man, this guy hung up on Pete Carroll, so
I saw that.
he's already in trouble from what I heard.
Right.
No, man, I think this guy right here he's a big dude, 312, 6'5". He's a big guy, man. I think he'll definitely make an impact on our line. I think honestly, to tell you the truth, I think Pete Carroll and our offensive unit, I think, kind of likes what we have going on with our line already. These guys are more, let's kind of groom them and see where we go from there. And I really like this pick, man. I'm kind of excited to see the offensive line that we got. So, and the guys that we picked up and where they can fit in. And I'm going to give this one right here probably a C+ on this one.
Okay. Little sis.
I'll give him a B-. I'm a Tech fan, so
Okay, sis. Yo, this guy for me is definitely a plug and play guy. A guy that's going to come in and make a statement. He can play a couple different positions. And again, there's a key thing that I said that Matt told me: versatility. This
mhm.
guy's going to have versatility, can play different positions. If a guy goes down, we're not worried. We're saying, hey, we got guys. And that's key for us, especially on the offensive line. Go ahead, Matt.
He had the best offensive line rank out of athleticism in the combine at a 91. So, I mean, this dude's, like you said, he's got versatility and he's athletic too. So, like I said, he's going to make an
Mhm.
impact.
And that's where we got to look at that. And we said, hey, where do we always struggle? Where is it that we need guys? Where is it that we need to find guys? Things like that. We said offensive line was a position that we needed to address,
Mhm.
and we addressed it. The next pick is Charles Grant out of William and Mary, a smaller school. Again, another guy that has tremendous versatility on the offensive line. Matty B. Grade for this guy in the round that he was picked, which, go ahead.
I'm going to give this guy a B. This guy right here he's a big dude. Like, he can maul some people on the line.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, he's got a lot of heart and a lot of grit, man. This guy does not give up when it comes down to him playing tackle. You know, he's definitely a dude that I think if Colton Miller was to leave, this guy right here could probably be the guy that steps up and takes his place. So I really like this pick right here. I'm kind of excited to see him and see what he can do. So yeah, B.
What I like about this guy is that he is a small town guy or a small school guy. This tells me that the Raiders are turning every single stone to find a guy.
Yep.
This tells me that we're going anywhere and they're looking for a certain type. Little sis, what do I keep saying? Versatility. Versatility is something that the Raiders are looking for on the offensive line, and they are willing to go into later rounds, into smaller schools to find their guys. Hey, this could be a diamond in the rough, and I'm with you there. I heard he's
Mhm.
heavy handed, I heard he's really strong. Guys, this could be a possible Pro Bowl guy that we just drafted later on in the draft out of a small school. Sis, thoughts?
I don't know much about him. He's one on the list that I didn't get a chance to get to,
Okay.
but I mean, it's like you said, they're turning every stone. which is, similar to why I said they're looking at people that we're not even thinking to look at, because they don't have big names. So I like what they're doing or what they did the draft. I got to finish my research on this guy.
I got you, sis. No worries. Yo, and the next pick, we go in the 4th round to Dante Thornton Jr. Matty B, you were telling me about it. Take it away, bro.
Man, this dude. So, like I said, when we needed the receivers, a lot of guys were like, "We got to go T Mac, all that." It was, I don't like that pick. This guy right here though has got a lot of up, man. This guy, you talk about speed. He's got speed, and he's got some hands. He needs to work on his route running a little bit. I guess his route running is a little iffy, but he can get that route tree down and figure it out. I think this dude's mark could be this. I mean, this guy's ceiling could be high. So, along with the best pick, I think these two guys right here that we came across in the draft this year at wide receiver are really going to step up and help us. Like I was saying earlier, I like this pick. I'm gonna go B+ on this pick.
Dante Thornton Jr. is an absolute freak. Freak.
I've heard.
This guy is a monster. This guy has the potential to be something special. And at that size, this reminds me, and I'm going to drop a name, and I know everybody's going to be like, crazy, man. This guy's a 1st round draft pick, an absolute beast for the Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf. He is a similar body build, a similar play style, and I think the Raiders just found their DK Metcalf.
Agree, 100%.
Sis, thoughts?
I'm ready to see him. Like I've heard he's pretty good.
I agree.
I've
A+.
seen a little. I watched a little bit of game highlights. I like it.
In later rounds, for me, this guy's an A+. Because the possibility of him becoming something special is extremely high. Just because of his skill set. Now, in the next pick, we take Tonka Hemingway.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, defensive tackle. Matty B, thoughts?
Yep, this dude's definitely got probably one of the coolest names in the whole draft, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I like it.
He
It just
said,
seems
yep.
Raider to me, bro. It just seems Raider to me. Like,
It
but
is.
no, I mean, this dude right here he's another dude that scored really high at the combine with his athleticism. I think this guy right here is one of those guys that could, I thought Mason Graham, but I think this guy right here could form into somebody that could help destroy the middle of that defensive line right there. So, man, I'm going to give this one right here I'm going to give this one a B+2. I think this guy's got a high ceiling as well. I really like this pick.
Besides you saying that he got the coolest name in the draft, which I agree, I just really didn't even think about it like that. This guy's an absolute monster. And what we're looking at, the Raiders this draft, what they did was solidify offensive line and defensive line in the interior. 2 defensive tackles, which is in the next pick we'll talk about the other one. But 2 guys that can help who? The 2 guys on the outside. You got Malcolm Koonce coming back. You got Max Crosby coming back. We got Christian Wilkins coming back. And now you have a possibility of having Tonka Hemingway lining up to those next war daddies, learning from them, and becoming something special.
Mm-hmm. You badass.
B plus for me. Sis,
I am right with y'all.
all right.
I'm
Now,
ready.
in the next round, we go interior line again, defensive line, with J.J. Pegasus out of Old Miss. Matty B, thoughts?
I like this guy. I think his name's pronounced Pigs, Pigs. I think it's or Figs or something like that. I know it's a little different. I thought it was Pegasus too,
Pegasus.
and then I heard him talk about it
Pegasus.
today, and I was like, huh, is it Pegasus? Okay,
Who knows?
but
J.J. Pegasus.
man, I like this guy too. He's one of those ones. He's a guy that I can see it's going to take a little bit of time. He's going to be one of those dudes that has, I guess, I don't know how to say that. He needs a little more time to develop, but I like the pick. I think he could be up there. Him and Hemingway, I think, could definitely be some of those rotational players and have a lot to, or a little impact too. So, this one I'm going to go a C on this one.
Okay.
Actually, this guy right here is the guy that plays the fullback too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go C on this one. I forgot about that. I forgot about how you play fullback too. So
For
yeah,
me,
we'll go C on.
For me, having a guy with this type of that athleticism at the interior defensive line,
Mhm.
the defensive line coach might be licking his chops. I'll be like, we don't know what the Raiders plan on doing with this guy, but what I see is a guy that's a straight out athlete, a guy that can do different things on the field. And when we talk about creativity on offense,
Mhm.
Chip Kelly ain't no slouch. I'd be like, could we possibly see this guy line up at fullback? Tight end? Who knows? But hey, defensive wise, I think this guy's going to be a guy that's going to come in and just be a role player. A guy that comes in and really develops into just a solid role player. Don't see a guy that's really going to come in and like, and I might be wrong because he does have a lot of athleticism, but I just don't see it at this moment. But I do see a guy that can come in and fill in and become something, make something. Sis,
I agree with you. I mean, yeah.
gotcha. All right. Hey, the next two guys we're going to talk about, I'm just going to go one and two because they play the same position.
Mm.
We draft quarterback Tommy Mellett out of Montana State, and we draft Cam Miller, quarterback, North Dakota State. Matty B, give me a grade for those two guys.
I think these guys are definitely developmental quarterbacks, and I think we could probably use them in a couple packages, kind of like kind of how the Saints did a little bit with what's that guy's name? Anyways, yeah, the dude they had back there with Carr. I kind of like these guys, man. I think they both got a lot of grit to them. Again, I don't know why we didn't draft Shador earlier, but I'm gonna give these guys a C together.
Okay.
I don't really know much about them. I know they played each other and they had a really good game against each other, but smaller classes, smaller schools.
Again, guys out of a smaller school, guys that have a chip on their shoulder, guys that have tremendous amount of athleticism, but maybe don't have all the technique and all that little stuff. If you look at Chip Kelly's offense with running an RPO, these two guys fit the mold. These two guys are athletes that can run the football, they can throw the football, and they can make different things happen. Kid Tommy Elliott
Mhm.
or Mellett played wide receiver. He did a bunch of different things. Cam Miller looked like the fastest guy in Division One FCS. Am I going to say that's going to translate to the league? Absolutely not. I'm not saying this guy's going to be the fastest guy out there or RG3 or anything like that. But do I see them having a lot of success in Chip Kelly's offense? Absolutely. And these guys, for me, are going into a tough position because they will be compared to Shedeur Sanders. If Shedeur Sanders has tremendous success, no matter what these guys do, the Raiders will always be known as a team that passed up on us unless we start winning championships and one of these guys. So for me, this grade is going to be also a C because of the tremendous pressure that these guys are going to have from the outside. Let's go on to our last pick, Cody Landenberg.
You didn't ask me.
Sis. Oh. Sis, you said, okay, go ahead, sis. What are your thoughts?
So I did read up on both of these guys.
Oh, here we
I
go.
would give them a C plus because they are mobile. That I've read their stats, okay, and I watched a little bit of highlights of both of them. What ran through my mind is, of course, they could be better, but we have Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? You've got these two amazing players that they play pretty good, and you've got Pete Carroll who can help them grow even more. You know what I mean? And so AOC will get kicked off to the side, no doubt. But I don't know. I see success with these two guys. I know everybody's comparing to Shedeur, but everybody's got their own nicks, like their own traits, and Shedeur didn't work out for us for a reason, and we don't know what that reason is. But
so reading up on this Mel. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was just reading up on this Mellett, on Tommy Mellett, and I guess a lot of people are saying he was a sleeper in this draft. Like he could possibly be one of the better picks in this draft. He ran a 4.3 940-yard dash with a 41-inch vertical jump in his pro day. Which had a lot of people thinking, yeah, they were saying that they say he could play a wide receiver too, quarterback. He's really smart again. He had a 4.0 GPA his whole college career, or his whole throughout college. These guys say he's like a walking computer, basically, is what they're saying. So we'll see, man. I think if he's as smart as they say he is, he should be able to pick up on the offense and be able to pick this stuff up real quick. So.
And again, they've got Pete Carroll there to guide him.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just reading up on that. I figured I'd say that.
No, you're.
All right, guys. And last but not least, Cody Landenberg out of Minnesota, linebacker.
Yeah.
Guys, this guy can play. He's run
big.
stopper. He is thick.
He's thickalicious.
Yes. But for the Raiders' need, for me, this guy's not a starter. This guy's not a guy that's going to come in and plug in just like this guy's going to be a special teamer, somebody that just, becomes a role player and really fills in a spot, especially at a position of need. I know that we have like 8 linebackers now, but I'll be like, we have to see what guys we got, and they have a lot to prove. Matty B, for me, this guy is a C. Grade for you, my brother. Go ahead.
I didn't really get to see this pick. I don't really know this guy too much. I didn't really pay attention. I was busy when they picked this guy. So I don't really know too much about him, man. I give him a C, just because of what you said. If he's a run stopper, then it's basically another Spillane, if you think about it. That's basically what he
If
was
he
a
plays
run
to
stopper.
Spillane
So,
level, then geez, bro. I'm
yeah,
down with
if he can get to that Spillane level, and be a good run stopper, then
Yeah.
I'd be all right with it. But work in progress with him.
it. Absolutely. Sis.
It's always going to be a work in progress with these new guys, but yeah, I give them a C plus.
All right. Well, guys, hey, we made it to the end of the show. We ended up going through every single draft pick. What I want you guys to do is like, share, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, any thoughts, please hit us up here on YouTube, Instagram. Guys, do we got anything else going on?
Nope. I'm getting ready for playoffs in my little league, so this is my last week. So hopefully we can win and take first place.
Go get that win, baby. Go get that win. Well, it's all about one nation. It's all about one team. It's all about the Raiders.